division of the assembly, which leads to the second one in the morning.
Very pleased.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Speakers and Leaders Hour. We meet once a month for you on television so that we can help promote two wonderful organizations. One is Toastmasters International, and the other is the Parliamentarian Group. Tonight we're focusing strictly on Toastmasters, though, because we have a fabulous event to share with you. Tonight we are having what's called a charter party for a brand new club. The charter party is a celebration of gathering together 20 members to create a new club. It's a lot of fun. Tonight we hope to show you that. We even have some cake that we'll be sharing with our members here. Unfortunately, we cannot share the cake with you at home. But if you'd like to join us, you'd like to call in, there will be a number on the bottom of the screen. You're welcome to ask questions. You're welcome to make comments. I hope that you will be in touch with us so that we can help share what Toastmasters can help each and every one of you do, and how you might be able to use the parliamentarian information to help make better meetings for all of you. I'd like to start out tonight with a lady who is an awesome resource for us. She was the spearhead for this club. She was past District 28 governor. She is a longtime distinguished Toastmaster, and she will be giving us our opening speech called Cost-Benefit Analysis. Please join me in welcoming distinguished Toastmaster Marlene Purdy.
Thank you, Bob. In these tough economic times, most of us are really taking a hard look at our investments. I'm not talking about just our monetary investments, but our investments of time and energy. Some of you may be spending your time and energy looking for a job or trying to find a full-time job when you're working just part-time. So we really need to take a look at what is going to really help us get ahead. I am a firm believer in Toastmasters, and I believe that Toastmasters is the answer to getting ahead in a lot of things, especially in the job market today, the way it is. But you think, wait a minute, Toastmasters is all about public speaking, and I don't care about public speaking. That's not what I'm all about. But Toastmasters is much more than public speaking. Toastmaster is communication, and communication is much broader than public speaking. Oh, sure, we do speeches and we learn public speaking skills, but communication is much more important. And just what is communication? Communication is the ability to convey our thoughts, our attitudes, our information to another person so that they can pick up and absorb what we're trying to get across. And in that way, Toastmasters is more than putting together speeches. It's about getting our point across to other people. Now, how can that benefit you in the job market? It can benefit you because if you can get your points across to your fellow coworkers, to your boss, to your customers, how much better off will you be, and how much more of a valuable employee will you be to that boss and to that company? Toastmasters also teaches listening skills, because everything we do in Toastmasters is evaluated, and either we're conveying information or we are evaluating somebody else who is conveying information. And so for that reason, we have to hone in on our listening skills. How many times have you been on the job and the boss will tell you to do something and you're not sure, well, wait a minute, I don't quite understand that instruction or that request? We really need to hone in on our listening skills. And Toastmasters helps us do that because, as I said, we will be evaluating other Toastmasters in their activities so that they can improve their speaking skills based on our feedback. Because if we are doing the same thing over and over and over again and we're not doing it correctly and nobody's giving us any feedback, how valuable will that be? So that's a big part of Toastmasters. But recently, and I think it was shown on the opening segment, Toastmasters developed a new logo and branding this year, along with the tagline, "Where Leaders Are Made." And I believe Patricia's going to be talking later about the whole leadership track of Toastmasters. But leadership is very, very important part. And you think, well, wait a minute, how's that going to help me on the job? It's going to help you on the job because if you can demonstrate leadership capabilities, leading in the small group or in group projects, it will help you on the job not only maybe get promoted, get even a new job perhaps, but the leadership efforts that we learn in Toastmasters are very, very important. Other things we learn in Toastmasters are to be a team player. We learn how to delegate because that's part of the leadership. When you're Toastmaster, you have to make sure that everybody's doing their job, so you're overseeing projects. And I think, Leon, are you going to be talking about mentoring, I believe,
Yes, I
later?
am.
And that's another part of it. All these are part of the Toastmasters program. And I guess the bottom line is, we ask ourselves, what's in it for me or what's in it for you? Perhaps that dream job that you never imagined were possible, but it could be through your experiences in Toastmasters. Mr. Toastmaster.
Welcome, Arlene. Arlene is a very experienced public speaker, Toastmaster, and a great person to have helping you. One of the comments she talked about was mentoring. A mentor is a helper for you. No matter where you are in life, you can always use some additional growth help. When you become a Toastmaster, you have a mentor assigned to you. This person is your mentor, your guide. Because I've heard people say, when I join, what are you going to do? Just throw me in? And then I have to figure out what I'm supposed to do? And that can be very scary, no matter what you're doing. But Toastmasters sets it so you have a mentor. When a new club is chartered, we also have mentors assigned. Now the fun part with this club will be, this is an advanced speakers club. That means these are members that all have to have a minimum of 10 speeches completed. Some of them have many more. And they usually have to belong to two clubs, their original club, their home club as some may call it, and they have to belong to this club. In the process now, the mentor, who we'll introduce in a moment, has to work that much harder to make sure he accomplishes everything on his to-do list. And now that I've made him squirm in his seat, it is my pleasure to introduce my friend, longtime friend, who is an advanced Toastmaster Gold, competent leader, Leon Kowalenko.
Thank you, Bob. Bob spoke about what is a mentor. We're kind of focusing mentors at the Toastmaster level, but think of mentors in your life. Maybe it was your parents, maybe somebody you worked with, or either you've been a mentee or a mentor to someone else. What I'm going to speak about tonight is being a club mentor. Like Bob mentioned, we can be a mentor to new members that join our club, and that's one way, and the other way is mentoring a club. And when Bob was looking to see who could help mentor this, he looked at me because I'm proud to say I've been in Toastmasters 10 years now. I've been an area governor 2 times, which I got to oversee 9 clubs, as well as attending district meetings at Indianapolis. Also, I don't know how many of you people do this, but if you're out of town, have you ever thought about visiting another Toastmasters club? And I've done that. One of the jobs I had, it took me out of town quite a bit. I've been into Detroit clubs, Windsor, Canada, out to Utah several times, Mississippi, and probably my most memorable one was when I went to Europe to Kiev, Ukraine. I took in a club there. And much to my surprise, they spoke English there. I was hoping that they would maybe speak their native language, but they were working on improving their English skills. So, see, Toastmasters is there for everybody, and a lot of people like to use the English language. One of the other things we can do as a club mentor is Toastmasters has a website. It's not only open to our club, it's open to anybody out there that wants to learn more about Toastmasters. And they do have a website now. They're very advanced. They're in the high-tech age. We can pay our dues online. We can get all kinds of resource information through the website. And my plan is during one of the meetings, actually launch a website during one of our meetings and maybe show some of the people how you access it, what's available, because like I said, there is a lot of information. Sometimes it could be overwhelming, so I'll help people kind of get through that if they're looking for something in particular. The educational program is the heart of any Toastmasters club. It's what they call the Successful Club Series. And we'll be doing different projects out of that. Not only myself, but a lot of the members, like Bob said, this is an advanced club. In most of Toastmasters Club, we speak 5 to 7 minutes. Well, you get into some of the advanced manuals, you might have to speak 15, 20 minutes, maybe stage some kind of a role playing. So this gives us a chance to do that. So we'll be doing some of that. And also, very important for every club is to make sure club officers are trained. Each club has 7 officers. And it's very important. We get training twice a year during the Toastmaster year, so it's very important that the clubs send their officers to get the proper training. Sometimes the main ones are usually in Indianapolis, although Toastmasters is very good about having local training too for people that can't make it to Indianapolis. I mentioned the Successful Club Series, and there's certain goals that have to be met. We'll talk more about what it takes to be a distinguished club. Sometimes it's abbreviated DCP. And there's certain things goals the clubs have to meet each year in order to achieve certain goals and get credit for them. So we'll be talking about what those are. Another thing, emphasize the need for members to come regularly. Now, many clubs meet weekly, some meet every other week. Our club's only going to meet once a month. Now, that could be good or bad. If you have something scheduled that week that we're meeting, it's going to be bad. But if it's only a once a month commitment, I think that's doable. So we do want to make sure our members come when it's scheduled, and we'll be notifying them either through phone calls or emails. And another thing is we will be evaluating ourselves from the Successful Club Series. It's called The Moments of Truth. It's a chance to really sit down and evaluate ourselves, see how we look maybe to other people visiting our club. So we'll be doing that module probably after a couple more meetings after we get a little more stabilized. So that's something we'll be doing. And we also want to expand our growth. Just like any club, we want to expand our membership, not for the sake of growing, but we'd like to have other people share the same experience we have. And the more people you have, you can share some of the responsibilities that go into a meeting. So these are some of the things as a club mentor that I'll be doing. And now I'll return control back to Bob Norris.
Thank you, Leon. I am proud to say that I've had the experience and honor to be able to work as an area governor with Leon. He's a great person, adds a lot to the clubs, brings a lot of fun to be with. We've had some good times, and we can talk about those later after we're off the show. We've had a lot of fun. One of the things that we do in Toastmasters is we work to make it fun. Because with the educational experience, if you have fun, you tend to want to come back. You want to be there. You want to enjoy what others enjoy. Many of you may have taken some classes where it was dreadful to be there. It was absolutely dreadful to walk in the room, but you had to be there. With Toastmasters, we help to build you up, to bring you up, and to help you become enthusiastic with others. And now to talk about our leadership, because we just did a rebranding, as they say. I'm pleased to introduce a lady that is repeating as area governor this year, great friend, great speaker. We have Patricia Knabe, and she'll come up and tell us about leadership.
Thank you, Bob. Welcome, fellow Toastmasters and guests at home. I became a Toastmaster about 5.5 years ago, and I was very excited about the prospect because I knew I would be able to accelerate and impact my speaking skills in a positive way. I didn't understand that there was a leadership track side to Toastmasters. When I received my first 2 initial manuals, the Competent Communicator Manual and the Competent Leader Manual, I dove right into that Competent Communicator Manual and tossed the Competent Leader Manual into the corner. I didn't really think about it until after I had achieved my Competent Communicator goal, which is your first 10 speeches in Toastmasters, that, maybe I should be working on the leadership side of this program as well. It's not all about speaking. It is also about leading. I picked up that Competent Leader Manual, I dusted it off, and started taking it very seriously, bringing my manual to every single meeting, and for every role that I fulfilled, I would have somebody evaluate me on that role. Little by little, I worked through that manual, and little by little, each project got a little more difficult, a little more challenging, but that is what it takes to become an effective leader. We need to stretch, we need to grow, and we need to build on skills that we have. The competent leader track, or the leadership track, I should say, of Toastmasters helps us do that. The first level of leadership is achieving that competent leader significance. And beyond that, there are Advanced Leader Bronze, there's Advanced Leader Silver, Advanced Leader Gold, and then Distinguished Toastmasters, as many of the people in this room today are Distinguished Toastmasters. The leadership track also impacts our members in other ways. We all start out as members of clubs, and maybe we don't take on an officer's role right away. Maybe we just say to ourselves, I'm just going to be a member and see where that takes me. But eventually, we step up, we take on a club officer's role, we get comfortable with that leadership ability, and then we're asked to take the next step. We're asked to become an area governor. An area governor is a person who oversees a number of clubs and helps those clubs with their distinguished club program. It helps those clubs build their membership. An area governor is there to support many, many people in achieving their goals. There are levels above being an area governor, and I don't have a whole lot of time to talk about those today, but there are more challenging roles ahead of being an area governor. As Bob mentioned when he introduced me, I am in my second term as an area governor and have learned a lot from this particular role that I have played. I have been lucky to play in Toastmasters, and I'm looking forward to future leadership roles within this fine organization. So keep in mind, if you're thinking about Toastmasters, it's not all about the public speaking. It is also about, as Marlene said, utilizing our listening skills, building team partnerships, and practicing team building skills. It's about mentoring, as Leon talked about, and it is also about becoming a more effective leader. Master Toastmaster.
Thank you, Patricia. As I said, I'm honored to have Patricia again as a member of my team. And I'm also looking forward to seeing Patricia advance herself in the district leadership. Several of us have agreed that there's great potential. We will be there to help her as the doors open, and I'm sure she will make a great contribution to the district. So thank you again for being part of our team. Now I have the privilege to reintroduce the lady who had the concept, the idea for this little child, bringing this club into existence. She is an awesome mentor, personal friend and mentor, has nudged me as I needed to be nudged to help me grow and to help me become better so I can help all of those who are around me as Toastmasters. Distinguished Toastmaster Marlene Purdy.
Thank you, Bob. Before you do anything else, I would like to share one thing that I forgot about earlier, and that is, in addition to our Toastmasters meetings and the activities throughout the district, there are other ways that we as Toastmasters can impact those people outside of Toastmasters. For instance, starting on Thursday morning, this week, we will be doing a youth leadership program, which is a mini Toastmasters program for young people who are too young to belong to Toastmasters. And we're going to be starting that with a group of homeschooled students, and I believe there are going to be 21 of them, and we're going to be meeting with them every Thursday for about the next 8 weeks. Another program, if you have an organization and would like to do just a short-term thing with communication skills, there is what is called the Speechcraft. Escaped me, thank you. And I had done one of those with Verizon. Are we allowed to advertise like that? Anyway, with their employees. And so if you have a company and you think that one of our small programs, and that again was about 8 weeks, and it helped them develop their communication skills. So if anybody out there has a company that would be interested, we're going to have a number given later on. I hope that you can contact us over and above the TV show. So those are some things that Toastmasters can help you out in the community with communication and leadership skills.
Great. Thank you, Marlene. Yes, the opportunity for those of you that work maybe in a corporation, bringing a club into your company and because you have to communicate in your club, I'm sure, and the more high up in the ranks you are, the more opportunity you're going to be given to communicate. And effective leaders have to be effective communicators. So now we are to the point of presenting some certificates. So I have the pleasure as Division B Governor to present the first certificate to Bernice Wilkins. This is the certificate that certifies advanced speakers and leaders have been elected to membership. Bernice is the Vice President of Education. Bernice.
Oh, and Bernice. I'm not sure if this microphone is on, so we may have to use Okay, I'll go ahead and take care of it. And Bernice, I have some questions. You're one of our charter members, and how long have you been involved in Toastmasters? I know you're in several clubs, and you've been in several clubs. You've been an area governor, the governor. You've done all of the above. How long have you been involved in Toastmasters?
I think it's almost 25 years now. They're going to make me keep coming till I get it right.
Okay, and you are a distinguished Toastmaster, and yes. I know you're close to getting your second distinguished Toastmaster. Is that correct?
I'm working at it. I'm trying.
Okay.
There's always more to learn.
And if you had words of wisdom that you would like to share.
I don't have any words of wisdom.
Oh, no.
The only words of wisdom is get thee to a Toastmaster meeting. Anybody can use Toastmaster training. If you're active in your church, in your PTA, in your neighborhood association, you need communication and leadership skills. If you don't get along with your boss or your co-workers, you need communication skills. So get thee to a Toastmaster club.
Thank you.
We will also award you your own personal certificate as a charter member. We thank you very much for doing all you do for Toastmasters. Our next member is the person that got me involved with Toastmasters. He came to one of my business networking groups and said to me, you're doing this pretty good, but why don't you come to Toastmasters? It'll give you a chance to practice, to hone your skills. Eventually I showed up and I thought, wow, I like this. This is nice. And then they couldn't get rid of me. But I am very pleased to give the next certificate to Distinguished Toastmaster Keith Hood. Keith.
Okay, Keith, your question. You've actually been a district governor. How long ago has that been?
Well, thank you, Marlene, for asking me that question. I was District 11 governor. I was back in 1988-89, which doesn't seem like all that long ago, but it has been a little while. And at that time, we were able to charter several clubs, and a lot of the people that are here in this room, many of them, helped with that. And then the ones that are here that weren't there then, they've grown since then, and the Toastmaster family just keeps growing. And so it's nice that people like you and Bob and Bernice and Patricia and Leon, Dave Wilkins, Robert, Roger and Andy, all those who are here, and then the other members who are not here, that they continue to work even behind the scenes, don't they, the ones that aren't here. So thanks for asking me. Yeah, it was 88, 89, and that was a pleasure being district governor during that time.
And when, you're not done yet, I'm not finished with you. When did you first join Toastmasters?
Well, I joined, actually, it was about 37 years ago. I joined in 1974 in March. I was a young engineer out of college. My supervisor says, I think you could use Toastmasters, and I didn't know what it was. And he took me to a Toastmasters meeting with a friend of his who was a contractor where I worked, and I found out that Toastmasters was a lot of fun, plus you learn, and then I continued to belong to it because I feel that it's sort of like exercising and staying on a diet, for health, that if you don't continue to do it, you might lose it. So doing it regularly works well, and that's what Toastmasters does. It kind of hones our skills. So I attribute Toastmasters to what skills I have that are of benefit.
Okay, thank you, Keith.
We thank you, Keith, and please feel free to go get some cake, and there's some water, and we will look for our next.
Who's our next person coming up here?
And our next person is a fabulous gentleman who participated in a interesting debate we had one night. He came and supported me very much. He is the executive producer of this show, Mr. David Wilkins. Dave.
Very nice certificate, Bob. Hello, Marlene.
Hello, David. My question for you. First of all, how long have you been in Toastmasters?
Since 1985.
1985, so you've been in a little bit longer than I am, and you also have your Distinguished Toastmaster designation, and you currently belong to...
I belong to, three clubs
Anthony
now.
Wayne.
Bearfield, and...
Advanced Leaders and
yes.
Speakers. Okay.
And I was very fortunate the years of 88, 89 to serve as Division B governor under Keith Hood. That was very, very exciting to do, and also having Keith in the same city made it a very interesting thing to do, too.
And my understanding is you are officially the District 11 parliamentarian, is that correct?
Yes, I've served that position, I think, 14 or 15 years now.
So one of these days we're going to get the parliamentarian half back on this show.
Actually, ladies and gentlemen, next month we will be back to half parliamentary and half Toastmasters.
Okay.
We took the whole summer off to do all Toastmasters.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Well, I want to say something.
Okay.
I want to thank you, Marlene. I also want to thank Bob, Dennis, wherever you are, Dennis over here, and also Tom Haller. You folks have all done a very good job over the past several months of keeping this show going and carrying us. So thank you very much, and we'll be back next month.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave.
What do you have there?
The next person we have is a great speaker. She is the one that prods me along, Marlene Purdy.
Oh. And I have no I've talked it out, so we'll just move right along.
Okay. And please remember, once you receive your certificate, feel free to...
Can I go get cake?
Well, if you want to, but I thought you wanted
I
to...
have a job, don't I?
Yes, you do. Well, our next person is a great addition to the parliamentary group and to Toastmasters. He has grown so much that I am very proud to have him as a member of the Toastmasters group and as a friend and as one of the folks who keeps this show going, Dennis Osborne. Dennis.
Thank you.
And my question for you, Dennis,
Yes, Marlene.
by the way, when she talked, well, I guess it was Leon talked about mentors. Dennis is one of my mentees. He's a relatively new Toastmaster, but he has grown so much. What is your reaction to having been in Toastmasters? Because you haven't been part of us that long.
No, actually, I joined Toastmasters at January of last year. Don't worry.
Okay.
And I completed my competent communicator about halfway through this year, and I have learned quite a bit. And I have taken on new responsibilities. I am the club secretary, and I have also become the president of the American Institute of Parliamentarians, which is the other half of this here show, which would usually be on, but tonight we are not. So I have learned a great deal and come out of my shell, so to speak, and flourished under Toastmasters.
And I think what's really proof of the pudding, Dennis not only has come a long way, he is now mentoring someone who is just as shy as he is. And so I'm hoping that our new member that you're the mentor for will blossom as much as you have. You've been a great addition, and I consider you a friend.
Thank you very much.
All right. Okay, and our next member we're recognizing tonight is a wonderful lady who has been a great help to me, who I am looking forward to see advance in Toastmasters, the ranks of Toastmasters, Patricia Kanabe. Patricia.
Thank you so much, Bob. You mentioned earlier how long you've been in Toastmasters. Would you share that again?
Absolutely. I am a charter member of the American Red Cross Toastmasters Club, and we chartered in April of 2006. So it's been a little bit over 5 years.
Okay.
Yes.
And this is your second year as area governor. Hopefully next year maybe division governor, and who knows where after that.
We're talking.
Well, the thing is, when you are an area governor, that's the next step that you've got to pursue.
Yes.
What advice would you give to anybody just starting out in Toastmasters so that they get the most out of it?
I would say the first thing is make sure your club assigns you a mentor. Make sure that you have that person as a guide to assist you with whatever track you want to work on. And I hope as a new member you want to work on both tracks simultaneously, unlike me, who forgot about the leadership track and only focused on the communications track. But get that mentor to help guide you.
So, and I've seen the benefits of having a mentor. So,
Absolutely,
congratulations.
Marlene. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Patricia. Oh, and the next member is someone who's very modest, very shy, very calm.
Do we know this guy? Let me present this certificate to Robert Michael Norris, Distinguished Toastmaster. Now, I have to laugh. I'm going to ask you some questions here. And I have to laugh because...
I was going to get out of these.
No way. He was an area governor during my 2 terms as division governor. And I forgot to warn him, anytime I take on a task like that, I usually bring somebody along behind me, because when I was in District 28, before I came to District 11, I did the same thing. And I could have warned you that it was going to happen. But anyway, and the next step then is I went up through the chairs, and he's going to start doing that next year. So what advice do you have for, let's say, budding leaders?
I would say for budding leaders, find a club you enjoy. Find the people that you enjoy being with, and go and relax, because each time we speak, we have an opportunity to improve. We might not say everything we want to. We might not say it the way we want to. But Toastmasters gives us that environment where we can practice. Practice makes perfect. And when you have fun when you're practicing, when you have great people around you, like you and Keith and the rest of the crew in here and the other people that I've had the fortune to meet, it makes it all that much more rewarding. Because what I have experienced, no amount of money could just go out and buy. It is rewarding because it touches us here, it helps us, and part of it is, like Patricia, when I first got involved, I thought, I don't need this leadership book. Put it over in the corner, and I confess I forgot where I put it. I thought, I'm not going to need this. And I thought, later on, now where did I put that? Because this is fun. This is part of helping others to grow, the mentoring, the helping take them along. And thank you for being there, helping me go along.
And prodding.
And prodding. Thank you, Marlene.
I get my whip out every once in a while.
Our next member is a great gentleman that I've had the opportunity to work with. He is a past area governor. He is, I think, a past division governor, longtime Toastmaster, good, all-around good person, and he has a great karaoke setup. Distinguished Toastmaster Roger Reed. Roger.
Roger, how long have you been a Toastmaster?
16 years.
And my understanding is that you not only belong to Early Birds and Advanced Leaders and Speakers, or Speakers and Leaders,
Yeah.
got it backwards, but you also belong to a club away from here.
Laughlin, Nevada. Colorado River Toastmasters. You ever get out in our part of the country, look them up. Get on the Toastmasters website and where it says find a club, look around, go see. Come out to see us. We have great speakers out there. It's kind of a young club, but we get tied in with the Las Vegas group. And you know, coming out of Las Vegas, you never know what you're going to get out of there. That's a great club. Just like here in Fort Wayne, we have great clubs here. It's a good place to go. Friends, and you get a little training while you're at it.
Okay, and you were an area governor while I was division governor, correct? I believe.
Yes, I've been an area governor twice.
Okay, and you were along with Bob and Bernice and Leon. So all three of the area governors are here. What advice would you have to somebody who's first joining Toastmasters?
The best thing to do when you first join Toastmasters, in that short period of time it takes to kind of get used to it, don't be afraid to take an office. That's a great part of Toastmasters. It's a great training organization. And I've held all of the offices in a club, plus the area and division governors. Same as Marlene said. I look around here, all of this experience, take an officer's job, go to officer's training. It'll make you a better speaker. It just has to happen. It just has to happen.
Okay, thank you. And I might say, I have been all the offices, but I've never been a sergeant at arms in any of my clubs.
Maybe your chance is coming
The
up.
one office I've never held. So thank you, Roger.
Our club actually has 20 members. We are recognizing those that could make it here tonight.
21.
21. I apologize because Leon now has also joined our club. So we are officially at 21. Unfortunately, some of the charter members could not be here for various reasons tonight. So we'll read their names, but we will not be able to give them their certificates. Our next person was one that was going to be here, but he had something unexpected come up and couldn't be here. But we do have a gentleman that I've had the privilege to meet in my travels as area governor who belongs to the Anthony Wayne Toastmasters. We have Andy Hyatt. Andy.
Andy, how long have you been in Toastmasters?
Well, I started attending meetings. It will be, in 2 weeks, it will be 7 years. I joined October of 2004. I served in the next term after I became as Vice President of Public Relations in my club, and then in the 2006-2007 year, I took over Area 19 after Leon as area governor. And I must say that getting involved in that kind of stuff right away was, I was scared at first, but it was a wonderful experience. And it was thoroughly enjoyable as well. So I would encourage any of you to not only get involved and start with club leadership, but to get involved in the area and the higher levels as soon as you can also. It is very effective, and I think it adds a lot to what you have to offer to others.
Okay. Thank you very much, Andy.
We have another gentleman with us tonight I've had the privilege of interacting with. He is very funny, a great speaker, very charismatic. I'd often say he's animated. Robert Knox. Robert.
Okay, Robert. How long have you been in Toastmasters?
About 12 years.
And currently you belong to which club?
Anthony Wayne.
Okay. I had the privilege of hearing one of your speeches. You have a multitude of talents other than public speaking. Tell us a little bit about your sewing.
Well, I sew, I knit, machine knit, I quilt, and I just got a big Swedish loom. So there's no living room. It's set up as a studio. And I'm hoping to produce things for sale.
Okay, so you're really getting into it big time.
Yes.
And he did a speech on using his sewing machine, and it was really...
As a creative tool.
As a creative tool. If you had any advice for new Toastmasters, what would it be?
Stay the course. Unfortunately, I've seen people come into Toastmasters and then leave after 6 months when they were just on the cusp of a real breakthrough for themselves. And so I'd say to anybody who's even thinking about joining Toastmasters, you already are living the results of not being a Toastmaster. Take a chance. Make those butterflies fly in formation long enough to get through your first year in Toastmasters. And either you will have improved enough that you really don't think you need it anymore, or more likely, you'll find there's more to learn, you will have made great friends, and you'll become one of us.
And that is what it's all about. I find Toastmasters to be a warm, friendly environment where one can learn. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have some members, as I said, that could not be here tonight, but we would like to take a moment and recognize them. Our first member that could not be here is Dave Ferguson. Dave is a fabulous member at the Bob Lyman Club. We also have Rhonda Maller. I believe Rhonda is with Bear Field. She could not be here this evening. And we have Tom Haller. Tom is a great friend. He is home recuperating from some illness, and we wish that he'll be well soon so he can rejoin us as part of the program.
And he's also one of the parliamentarians that is part of that group also.
Thank you, Marlene. And Becky Tallarico, who belongs to our Bob Lyman Club that meets the second and fourth Mondays at Northcrest Pizza Hut. Keith Lipke, who also belongs to our Bob Lyman Club. And Joe Henderson, who belongs to our Bob Lyman Club. The unfortunate thing is that not everyone can attend every meeting, but we encourage, like anything else, if you have to you have to miss. But if you can be there, the more you attend, the better off you are.
And you might remind people, this is not our normal meeting night either.
True, this is not normally. Say we stick the second plug in there. Our Bob Lyman Club meets the second and fourth Mondays. Bear Field meets every first and second, third Tuesdays.
First, third, and fourth.
First, third, and fourth Tuesdays at Penguin Point at what time? 7 o'clock?
6:30 to 8.
6:30 to 8, making sure I try and give equal representation to the other members.
And the Advanced Speakers and Leaders normally meets on the first Monday of the month. But yesterday was Labor Day.
That's true.
And we meet here at the library, and we couldn't get in the library. So we just decided to have our meeting on TV.
Well, one of the things we do with Toastmasters is we look to maximize our effort. And by having the charter party for the Advanced Speakers and Leader Club with the TV show, we basically got two birds with one great stone. Linda Demarest is another person that could not be here tonight.
And she's part of the Bearfield
Club. Bearfield, 6:30 till 8 o'clock, second, third, fourth Tuesday nights at Penguin Point, the south side of Fort Wayne. Ann Hull, who is a member of the American Red Cross Club, which meets every Tuesday from noon to 1 o'clock at the Red Cross. And Jack Young, who is a member of the Smoky Montgomery Club. This is one of the oldest clubs in the area, if not the oldest. They meet the second and fourth Tuesdays at a conference room off the cafeteria at a Lutheran hospital. And the last one I show not being here is Peggy Ball. Peggy is also a member of the American Red Cross Club. She is repeating another term as an area governor. Unfortunately, she is ill this evening. But these are all fabulous members who participate with our clubs. And I thank you again.
Okay, I think you can go back on that mic now.
Okay, thank you, Marlene. One of the things we do with Toastmasters is as we help people become better speakers, they learn to be more effective leaders. And being a leader, you need to be able to communicate. I've worked with engineers and other people that are just fantastic when it comes to knowing intelligence-wise what to do with blueprints. But if it came to a presentation, they didn't have the proper training on how to communicate it to someone at my level. So we got lost, or their message got lost. A classic example of this comes up in the world of politics. Usually we avoid politics, but this is an instance which is documented and no attack on any person. In 2008, Caroline Kennedy, daughter of late President John F. Kennedy, had the opportunity to fill a spot in the United States Senate. Well, this lady is very, very intelligent, very sharp. Knowledge, has a whole bunch of stuff that she does in her life. Well, she had been basically avoiding doing interviews because she didn't feel comfortable. When she got in front of the camera, in a period of 5 minutes, they counted 27 ums and 38 you knows. 5 minutes. She was brilliant, but she couldn't bring the message forward. Later on, they asked a speech coach named Susan Ward in the Wall Street Journal what happened, why she had such a hard time. And she basically said she had not been coached on how to properly speak with a group of people, or even one-on-one, especially on television. Shortly after the speech, Caroline Kennedy withdrew from the race. This was, for her, probably a point where she said, that's enough. I'm not going to do it anymore. I would have encouraged her, though, to go find a local Toastmasters, because all of the Toastmasters groups encourage everyone to grow, to become better speakers. And of course, in the process, we learn how to become more effective leaders, because life is about communications. But what hurts us, and many times we don't know, is when we use filler words such as ahs, ums, ands, so. We repeat the words. Many of us are taught as children that, like myself, in my family, if you took a pause, the pause wasn't a good thing. It was an invitation for someone else to jump in and get their point of view out. So you keep going and maybe sticking an or so, or because you can see the other person go, and you would, wait, I'm still speaking. So you would stick in the ahs and ums. But what happens is after a while, it becomes distracting. And what people will hear is the ahs, the ums, the so, you know. Maybe some of you have heard, you know. and after a while all you hear is that distracting filler word. We actually have someone in each club meeting called the counter grammarian, and it is their job to count the ahs, the ums, and the grammar. They don't necessarily say Bob Norris had 432 ahs and ums. They might, but it's, well, or a few, or other repeat words. But what they'll do is bring it to our attention. So once we're aware of it, we have the opportunity to say, I'm going to work on getting away from it. And even us Toastmasters and the ones that have been in it for a number of years, occasionally, depending on the person, occasionally, will slip one in. They also teach us what to do for gestures. Gestures can be very meaningful and add to what we're doing. Or we can be very distracting. We can be what Keith did one time for his speech called Windmill Willies. Or for heaven's sakes, folks, guys, this is more of us. But we stick our hands in our pockets. We don't know where to put them. So what happens when you stick your hands in your pockets? You rattle your change, your car keys, and it looks bad. Or perhaps you get the military stance, where you just walk around and you look like, I am in charge. I can take on everybody. Or some feel uncomfortable and they go with the football protection. But with Toastmasters, and one of my most difficult points to overcome was leaving your hands at your side when you don't need them. This is something we work on because we're in a constant struggle to overcome and create new habits. But as each Toastmaster knows here, it's an opportunity for them to grow. I would like to take a minute and ask our participants to share a little bit about each and every club they are in, and I'll start with Patricia.
I'm with the American Red Cross Toastmasters Club. It is an open club, which means we are open to the public. We meet every Tuesday at noon, and every other week we alternate between a half hour and an hour meeting. So for example, today our meeting was a half hour. Next week our meeting will be for an hour. And I welcome everyone to come and join us. We'd love to have you there.
Okay. And Leon?
I'm part of Anthony Wayne Toastmasters. We currently meet at Ivy Tech on the main campus. We have a real high-tech room. We have a screen in there. We can do audio visual. We've probably got room for 35 people. Our club's a little over 21 people, but they don't all show at once, so we always got extra seats for visitors to come. There's also a cafeteria there, and we're on the ground level. You don't have to climb upstairs. We're on the ground level. We're very close to an entrance door, so we'd like to have you come out and visit us. Oh, by the way, we meet on Thursdays, 6:30 to 8.
Marlene?
The Bob Lyman Club, we meet on the second and fourth Mondays we actually go and eat at 5:30, usually between 5:30 and 6. The meeting starts promptly at 6:30. We're done by 8 o'clock, and we meet at Pizza Hut, and that's why we like to go and eat early.
Okay. I will stick in a brief plug for the club I belong to that meets the second and fourth Tuesday nights, which is the Smoky Montgomery Club. It meets from about 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock at Lutheran Hospital. It's a great club, great people, just like all the clubs. The beautiful part of Toastmasters in Fort Wayne is you have a variety of opportunities to participate. And Robert, would you tell us a little bit about your clubs?
Well, Anthony Wayne is more than a Toastmasters club. These people are like family to me. I've known them a long time. I could go to most any of them with a problem, and they would do everything they could to help.
And Anthony Wayne meets when?
Meets Thursdays at Ivy Tech from 6 to 8:30 in room 1550.
Okay, well, thank you. And Bernice?
I think we've advertised everybody. Why don't you ask Roger Reed? It's a different club.
Okay, Roger, would you?
Oh.
Well, let's go with Bernice and we'll go Dave. We've got...
That Dave's it.
Yeah.
You're on there.
Anthony Wayne Toastmasters I belong to. I believe it's already been mentioned. Also Bearfield Toastmasters. They would like to talk about Bearfield.
Well, Bearfield Toastmasters meets on the Tuesday evening, the first third, fourth, and fifth Tuesdays of the month. We meet at Penguin Point on the south side of Fort Wayne. Penguin Point is the only Penguin Point in Fort Wayne, and we're on Winchester Road at Lower Huntington Road from 6:30 until 8, and it is the finest club on the south side of Fort Wayne, PA.
Very good. And Roger, would you like to share some information about your club?
I'm a member of the Early Bird Toastmaster Club. We meet early Monday morning at the Parkwood Church of God at the corner of Trier and Hobson Road. Come out and see us if you can get up Monday morning.
Okay, and Andy, would you?
I am also a member of Anthony Wayne Toastmasters, which meets at Ivy Tech in room 1550 on Thursday nights from 6:30 to 8. It's the best club in my opinion. I've attended a few. We really are a family, and a lot of people that have come to visit have found that it's such a friendly environment they want to make it their home too. So we hope you come out and see us and maybe join our family.
Okay, Keith. And Keith.
My name is Keith Hood, and I belong to the Bob Lyman Toastmasters Club. And, of course, we meet at the time mentioned, 6:30 p.m. on the second and fourth Mondays, and that's at the Pizza Hut, Northcrest. Come out and see us.
Okay, and Dennis.
Yes, my name is Dennis Osborne. I am also a member of the Bob Lyman Toastmasters Club, which meets the second and fourth Monday of the month at Northcrest Pizza Hut. I would also like to take this here a quick moment to plug the American Institute of Parliamentarians, which meets here at the Allen County Public Library the third Monday of the month at 6:30 p.m. up in the conference room in Business and Technology.
Thank you, Dennis. We're just up against the clock, and I'd like to take a quick few seconds here to thank our crew that has been doing a wonderful job with us tonight, Bob and Patty Hunter, Paul Bryant, and Director Elizabeth Lord. We hope that you enjoyed our evening with you. We know we enjoyed it sharing it with you, and we hope you'll come back and see us again in October, the first Tuesday night, 7 o'clock, Public Access TV, whichever channel you're watching us on. And we hope you'll enjoyed it. We hope you'll come back. And most importantly, we hope you'll visit Toastmasters. Give yourself the opportunity to grow and learn and have fun.